Friday. Good morning to you. Welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. I am your host, as you can see, Monica Adams. Hope you're having a great start to your Friday as we head into the weekend. If you're heading out this morning and into the weekend, you better bundle up. I'm talking about finding all those layers and maybe you set to the side. We're talking about some bitterly cold temperatures. Beckett Moore is going to join us here in just a second and give us the rundown of not just the weekend, but as we head into next week as well. Do we have more snow headed our way? Well, we'll find out. We've got some really good stories and news you can use, including my favorite story of the day about a 2-year-old boy. Yes, I said a 2-year-old boy that can make these trick shots when he's playing pool. Can't wait to tell you about that. And then it's a Foodie Friday. It's become one of your favorites over the last, 6+ months. Today, we get to shine the spotlight on Defiance Ridge Vineyards. We will not only be bringing in Chuck Valentine, who we're joined by every other Wednesday at his winery. He came into the Slyman Brothers studio and brought his incredible chef, Chris Maurer. Now, if you haven't made plans for Valentine's Day and you want to stay home all bundled up by the fireplace, you're going to want this recipe. You can make it for your loved one, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, significant other, etc. This is one you're going to love. Beef medallions, some incredible amaretto glazed carrots, and a little bread pudding, all paired with a Reserve Cabernet from Defiance Ridge Vineyards. It's a good one. Trust me on that. All coming up for you this morning. All right, let's kick it off with our segment that we call What the Weather.
Good morning from St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, we're rocking today. All right, everybody,
Yes, we
welcome in. I know you like that new music.
Yes, it looks great.
Beckett Moore, our aspiring meteorologist at Moore Weather Official. So he's outside, not in St. Louis. Tell everybody where you are this morning, Beckett.
I'm Memphis, Tennessee.
All right, and some exciting things that are coming up next Monday, right?
Yeah, so my mom, her store, her facial business that she's opening here is opening on Monday. So that's why we're here to get it all ready.
I am so excited. Jill, congratulations. Marty, the entire family. We'll be looking at some of that as they do their big opening, The Only Facial. So if you're going to Memphis, Tennessee, be sure to support them and check them out. So are you coming back Monday? Are you go back to school on Monday?
Yes, we'll come back Sunday, so I should be there for the show on Monday.
Okay, so how is the weather there? And then we'll look at what's happening here in St. Louis.
Yeah, so right now it's actually interesting compared to St. Louis. We do have a lot of snow still on the ground, a lot of snow still on the streets because, of course, they don't have as many plows here. It's about 4 hours, 30 minutes south. So we do not have as many plows here, and the roads are a mess out there. So that's why you had private schools canceled for the entire week. I think public school districts were canceled for the entire week too because all the snow that was on the ground did not get plowed and it was refreezing overnight. But looking at the weather in St. Louis, it is very chilly there. The current conditions right now, we got a temperature here this morning at 7 degrees, cloudy skies. That is dangerously cold. Definitely bundle up as you're heading out the door today. This afternoon, 19 degrees as your high. Again, another push of cold air coming in today. That's going to last until Sunday. So looking at tomorrow, high of 20, keeping with those mostly sunny skies. And then Sunday, that's when we do finally get out of this very, very cold wave of temperatures. 30 degrees, sunny skies. Monday, 34, mostly cloudy skies, as well as Tuesday around 35. Wednesday, we do have a chance for snow, but we're keeping in the mid-30s through Wednesday and Thursday, so we're going to thaw out a little bit here in St. Louis.
Okay, so I'm going to look at yours, and then I looked over at CAMOV this morning. They're talking about wind chills for us tomorrow, Beckett, of -12. So I was talking about just how cold it is. Actually, they made tomorrow a first alert weather day. They're saying today maybe we could have some flurries. And then they've got a little bit of a mix of a possibility Tuesday and then Wednesday, maybe a chance of snow. So there's some opportunities for us there into next week, right?
Yes, Tuesday night into Wednesday, it looks like we could have some moisture coming through, some precipitation, so I'll definitely have more on that on Monday.
Okay, but watch out when we talk about how dangerously cold it is. If you can stay in tomorrow's wind chill is going to be crazy out there. Well, again, congratulations to your mom. So good to see you this morning. Safe travels back, and we'll talk about all the excitement of the grand opening on Monday.
Thank you. See you then.
All right, Beckett Moore, again, our aspiring meteorologist. A chilly, chilly day today, but if you think it's been cold, again, as we mentioned, tomorrow is really going to be, holy cow, like, this is nuts. Good morning. As you're signing on this morning, let me see who's on with us already. I bet you, oh no, Christy didn't sign on first. Kathleen, good morning. Linda, a chilly good morning to you. Julie, Fabian, good morning. Sean, good morning. Michelle said, I love the new Beckett music. Linda, school's still out here too. Oh my gosh. Again, in some of the rural areas, trying to get around to all the roads. Back roads don't get plowed very well. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Everybody beat Christy on this morning. Christy usually is the first one to say good morning to you. Let's head over to Instagram. Nope, nobody's saying hi over there. Let me start before I get ready to our news you can use and say a very happy birthday to one of my best friends, Julie Myers. She's been my dearest friend since we were in college. Having a birthday today. And today, I told you in the Foodie Friday that we're making some, we're making several things, but we're making bread pudding, which I love to tell the story. When she was pregnant, you know, all of you ladies, you crave something or maybe multiple things. It was bread pudding for her. And she was constantly telling her husband, I need bread pudding. And then one time he was like, okay, we'll get some bread pudding. She goes, no, I need bread pudding. And she was talking like that. And then all of a sudden she turned to, you don't understand. I need bread pudding right now. And it's my favorite story. When she was pregnant with my godchild, Kylie, they found bread pudding all over the place, including Schlafly's, that sticky toffee pudding they have, and then Cyrano's with some of the best. However, I'm going to tell you, Chef Chris is going to put all those to bed as he rises to the top. Wait till you see what we make with his bread pudding. So I told her I was going to try to bring some over to her. So happy birthday. Love you, Jules. Okay, in the news you can use. Here are some of the biggest recent job cuts as layoffs, unfortunately, continue to pile up. In the United States, economists have said that businesses are largely at a no hire, no fire standstill. That leads many to limit new work, if not pause openings entirely amid economic uncertainty. Hiring has stagnated, with the country adding a meager 50,000 jobs last month, down from a revised figure of 56,000 in November. So here are a few companies that have announced some of the largest job cuts recently. Dow, Amazon, UPS, we just mentioned the other day, Tyson Foods, HP, Verizon, Nestle as well, Novo Nordisk, Intel, Procter & Gamble, Microsoft, and some other companies that have taken job cuts recently included General Motors. They cut about 1,700 jobs. Skydance owned Paramount. Target back in October moved to eliminate about 1,800 corporate positions. ConocoPhillips and also Lufthansa. They will shed 4,000 jobs, they say, by 2030. So again, some instability in the market. Some people saying that they're unsure. In fact, I saw a story this morning. I just sent it over to our real estate extraordinaire, Dot Fleshman, and I said, do you want to address this next week? And it had to do with President Donald Trump saying that he wants to see home prices go up, not down. And so we'll talk about that with her as we get into our friendship and our real estate talk next week. Well, FEMA is approving more money. This is good news for the May 16th tornado victims. So $19 million to St. Louis. They're talking about debris removal, $3.5 million of that going to the St. Louis Public Schools, debris removal and building repair. The agency sending $3.5 to St. Louis Public Schools, as many of the buildings were heavily damaged and the debris still needs to be removed. Again, approving $19 million in aid for our city, with those funds going mainly towards debris removal that still does need to take place since that tornado back on May 16th. Okay, what is a Trump $1,000 baby bonus, you might ask? Your baby could qualify for this. So listen up. A provision of Trump's tax legislation, Trump accounts are meant to give $1,000 to every newborn, so long as their parents open an account. That money is then invested in the stock market by private firms, and the child can access the money when they turn 18. A U.S. Treasury event brought together an assortment of politicians and celebrities on Wednesday. You may have seen this. Nicki Minaj coming out, NBC's Shark Tank judge Kevin O'Leary, Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz, all discussing that program and its potential impact on the economy. The backers have said, They're a way to help children from low-income households build that wealth. So what is it? It's a new savings tool where money is invested in the stock market on behalf of that child. Now, again, the child cannot access it until this child is 18 and can only use it, by the way, for specific purposes, such as paying tuition, starting a business, or making a down payment on a home. And speaking of starting a business, we're seeing a lot of that entrepreneurial spirit in our younger generation, right? Who gets it? Well, as part of the initiative launch, parents of the older children are also encouraged to open accounts, but they won't get the $1,000 bonus. That money is reserved for babies born during the calendar years of the Trump administration. So to qualify for the $1,000 seed money, a baby must be a U.S. citizen, have a social security number, and be born between January 1st of 25 and December 31st of 28. Any parent can open an account for that qualifying child, regardless of the parent's immigration status. Can older kids get the bonuses? Some of you might be asking that. Some can, thanks to contributions from some of the country's wealthiest entrepreneurs. In December, there were some billionaires that announced a $6.25 billion donation that will allow some children who are 10 and under to receive $250 in that seed money if their parents open an account. So how do you do so? The accounts won't be open for contributions until July of this year, but parents of eligible kids can sign up using, remember this, Form 4547 from the IRS. Parents can fill out that form when you are filing taxes this year or when the administration opens an online portal this summer. Registering for this is required for a child to receive the money. So look into this. Again, this is definitely one of those news you can use stories, and I do hope that money's able to come towards you, again, for babies, or again, maybe even some of the older children as well. We're going to stay with Trump for a second because there's been a lot of talk about this movie, Melania. And I saw that Amazon actually blocked some of the mainstream press from watching the documentary at Kennedy Center. I'm talking about reporters from the New York Times, the Washington Post, AP, Vanity Fair, among dozens of other outlets on the carpet. So who saw it? Members of the Trump administration, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Pete Hegseth, Lee Zeldin, Mike Johnson. They attended the premiere in addition to the film's director and producer. Several times when government officials walked towards the press line, they would encourage them to skip the fake news and come straight to him. That was from one of the officials. At one point, after wrapping an interview with former Trump advisor Alina Habba, he called the rest of the reporters on the carpet mongrels, to which they both laughed. That said, President Trump spent a surprising amount of time answering questions from the mainstream press while Melania, wearing a Dolce & Gabbana skirt suit, posed for photos. So now I ask you, the film is opening in theaters against a backdrop of political unrest. We know obviously what's going on with ICE raids in Minneapolis and other parts of the country, causing increased backlash across the administration's glitzy White House screening earlier this week. And so will you want to see this? As I mentioned, a lot of people have talked about this recently. I'm intrigued by it because it's all in the lead up, obviously, to him taking office. Say yes or no. Do you want to see it? Are you intrigued by it? Or do you say, no, I'll skip this one? Are you even going to see movies anymore is what my question is. All right, $100,000 meant for sick pets in St. Louis was spent on Gucci and Netflix. That's according to the Missouri AG, former nonprofit president facing felony charges now after collecting donations for the dissolved organization. So Charles Hackman, he said he saw a Facebook post from Saving St. Louis Pets asking for donations to rescue and treat animals. The post said animals needed medical care and they were dying, requesting $2,000 to be raised that day. He said, I noticed a post that someone shared basically saying these animals are in need, right? Needing to raise $2,000. He said he believed the money, though, was going toward vet bills and transporting pets from bad situations. However, invoices obtained by our friends over at First Alert 4 showed purchases including a Ninja system, Gucci sunglasses placed on behalf of Saving St. Louis Pets, and a $400 Netflix bill paid off by the organization's accounts. The business operated from an address that houses a jiu-jitsu gym, and it was the same gym where he trained. That's why he saw all of this information. Consumers who believe they may have been scammed by a charity or a business should file a complaint with the Attorney General's office by calling their consumer protection hotline, which is 800-392-8222, or you can submit a complaint online at ago.mo.gov. I mean, again, you're sitting here thinking you're helping out these pets, and That's very frustrating to see where the money was actually going. All right, for those of you that love to go to the St. Louis Zoo, it's back. Animals Aglow, returning to the St. Louis Zoo. The popular Chinese Lantern Festival will return March 13th, marking the third year of the event. The event will host dozens of new lanterns and light displays to illuminate the night. I've been to that. I think that should be really cool. All right, here's my fun story of the day. Look at this little boy, a 2-year-old setting not one, but 2 world records with a pair of impressive snooker trick shots. His name is Jude Owens. He's been confirmed as a double Guinness World Record holder in the table sport of snooker. He sunk 2 very difficult trick shots, becoming the youngest person ever to pot 2 balls in 2 different pockets with 1 cue ball strike, and the youngest to pull off a bank shot. Guinness says the pint-sized snooker shark is also the youngest known person to secure a snooker sponsorship. He made a special walkout appearance at the 2025 UK Snooker Championship. Okay, you all need to see this. So I'm going to put the video from our friends over at KMOV in the comments right now. I need you to see that video at some point today so you can see him playing. And I love the part where he punts his fist in the air because he's so proud of himself. I'm so proud of the Blues. I stayed up to watch this one. The Blues pulling out a win. What an exciting game it was. And some fisticuffs, by the way, for those of you that like the old school hockey with fights during the game. The Blues beat the Panthers literally down to the final minute, 5-4. So now it's the Blue Jackets coming to St. Louis to play our Blues tomorrow. Game time is at 6 p.m. We've also been talking about how great the Billikens are doing. The Dayton Flyers playing the Billikens, and that'll be today. And game time is also at 7 o'clock. Okay, in our National Day of Calendar, it's National Big Wig Day. It is National Croissant Day. We didn't even know that, but we're using some stale croissants in our bread pudding today. National Escape Day. And if you're heading off to work, have some fun. It's National Fun at Work Day. All right, folks, that's it. That's how we get you all up to date. Again, news you can use, nothing really serious and depressing. That's what we like for you. Okay, let me see. Stephanie, good morning. Jenny, good morning. Thank God it's Friday. Ron says good morning. Happy Friday. Stay safe and warm, Julie says. Good morning, Karen. Let's see. Anybody else on here? Oh, no. Okay. So as you are signing on, again, I want to know, do you want to see that movie, Melania's movie? Just drop in a real quick yes or no for me. As you are just coming in to play and waking up, grabbing your coffee and tea, sit back, relax, and get ready for a recipe that I can guarantee you're going to want to make. Whether it's this weekend, maybe for Valentine's Day, it's one I want you to keep, and then let us know when you do make it. Foodie Friday, shining the spotlight on Defiance Ridge Vineyards. Good morning, Joe. We will be back with that right after this.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Well, good morning and welcome to another Foodie Friday. You might recognize that face. Not sure you recognize this one. We haven't had a chance to introduce him before, but if you're a fan of Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, then you've seen Chuck Galentine and myself on Wednesdays, live many times from his winery, sometimes virtually, and now we get to bring him into the Slyman Brothers kitchen for a Foodie Friday. So Chuck, welcome.
Thank you, Monica. We're happy to be here.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are.
So Chuck Galentine's the owner of Defiance Ridge Vineyards, and we'll show you some beautiful pictures if you've never been there, why you do want to go and take your friends and family. You also want to come to some dinners, and so he brought his chef in. Chef Chris, you want to introduce us?
Oh my, this is our infamous chef, Chris Maurer. Chris has been with us many years.
Yes.
He runs a great kitchen, makes fantastic food.
He really does.
And,
I've been to many of your dinners.
Yeah, he's, when he puts something on a plate, it's going to be very tasty.
Agreed.
And we have a good time together working menus and all kinds of stuff. So Chris is going to put on a great show for you today.
Chris, how many years have you been with Chuck?
So, going on, I believe April will be 7 years.
7 years.
That's
So
great.
Almost
That's
since
fantastic.
the very beginning.
It's
I know
true.
there was, one or two chefs before me?
Yep.
But here, staying power right here. When did you
Yes.
start coming up with the ideas of the farmhouse dinners, which are really popular?
Oh my, we're in I think our 7th year of doing these things, and just thought about doing it, pairing our wines with a great menu. And as we've moved forward, it gets easier and easier. We average probably 80 or 90 people for our dinner, and created a menu, and Chris, works on it very, very hard.
Yes.
And puts a lot of time and comes up with some fantastic. I gave him an idea, and he just
And he runs
takes
with
off
it, right?
with it. Yep.
You do, and it's the creative mind of a chef that we absolutely love, and it's like, wow, I didn't know you could do this with this. So if you are looking for one, he and I just talked about it on our Wet Your Whistle, but you've got a special Valentine's one coming up.
We do. That's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be a good dinner. It's going to be beef tenderloin. I think we're doing green beans almondine. We're doing, what is it, scalloped potatoes.
And beef, and your salad with the citrus salad.
Yeah, so with the citrus salad, I'm hoping that I can get blood oranges and grapefruit.
See, everything's
for
seasonal.
the citrus part of it. It's definitely going to be a good dinner. It's definitely going to be one of our higher end dinners. I will be using USDA choice, possibly prime, depending on what's available at the time. I know we've got some local, somebody local that we could possibly get things from. So, we're currently checking into that as well.
Absolutely, and that's the whole thing about supporting everyone around in the small business realm. What are you doing for dessert that night? Chocolate?
We're doing a chocolate.
Yeah,
it's going to be a chocolate cake. I haven't decided
raspberry,
exactly what I'm
yes.
doing yet, but I haven't decided if it's going to be more of a gluten-free option, which basically is.
Well, his
it's
desserts
no
are
flour,
fabulous.
It's very fudgy.
As I was telling you yesterday,
Fudgy.
he makes incredible desserts. They're not too sweet.
Right.
And they're fun to pair great dessert wines with. So
Yes.
it'll be good.
So again, if you haven't been out and tried the wines, you got to get to Defiance Ridge. We always talk about the wonderful calendar of events. Chuck and I just talked this past Wednesday about the summer concert series, and I am blown away. They already have 200 tickets that they sold for one of them coming up in the summer that I would love to get to.
We've got some high-end bands this year.
You do, and he's pulling people
We
in
do.
from all over the place.
Oh my goodness, we are, and it's going to be a fun summer.
Yes. So if you are looking for something to do with your family, your friends, go to Defiance Ridge website. Also follow them on social media, by the way, and you can know about all these events coming up. So today we are going to cook. You said it. Every chef that ever walks in here says it. He walked into the Slyman Brothers kitchen and said, wow.
It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful.
Well, and we couldn't do our Foodie Friday without our friends at Slyman Brothers. So if you're looking, when you look for new appliances for your home, do us a favor. Support those that support us. They've been around for 60 years. Gorgeous kitchens that you can have in your home or your condo, your villa. Again, we use Gen Air here. This is an induction stove that we're going to use today. We also have been using Sub-Zero and Wolf and Cove when we cooked at Slyman Brothers. So thank you, Slyman Brothers. We love you so much, and we couldn't do this without you. Have you, besides on like the little small ones, have you ever cooked on induction?
Not an actual full stovetop. I've cooked on the little individual square ones.
Right. I'm excited at the end to see what you think.
Yeah, I know the heat does come immediately,
Yes.
as I've been told. You can bring water to a boil in less than 2 minutes.
Yes.
That's pretty crazy if you think about it, but, it's so much hotter than fire. But I know one of the things that's really cool about the induction is you could pretty much touch it right afterwards.
You can.
Right? And
We have it on
as soon
just
as you
a little
take the
bit.
pan off, it's not even hot, and the
No.
pan's turned on. So
It's a safety aspect.
it's totally. It would be great to have it home for the kids, but
That's it. No, it's true. So
Yeah, it's
we'll have
100%.
to remember to ask you at the end, what'd you think? Because a lot of chefs come in with the mindset of gas. Gas is king. And I get that.
Yeah,
but it's
yep.
always interesting when they're done to go, wow, okay, my mind's been open.
Hey, you never know. I may be asking Chuck for an induction kitchen now. It's like,
Hello, Slyman Brothers. All right, again,
ma'am.
if you're just tuning in, Chris Maurer, chef, and Chuck Valentine, owner of Defiance Ridge Vineyards. So what are we going to make today?
So actually what I'm going to start off with is a banana bread pudding. I'm sorry, not banana. Walnut chocolate chip bread pudding, which I'm going to start that first because it's going to need to go in the oven about 20 or 30 minutes.
Okay.
actually prefer to use stale croissants for the bread aspect of it. They're so buttery. They soak up the egg and the cream mixture so well. Basically, I personally don't go by a lot of recipes. Baking, yeah, but I go basically by taste for the most part.
I think that's any good cook.
that's how I do things. But anyways, so yeah, stale croissants.
Stale croissants, okay.
I do a ratio of 2 parts egg to 1 part heavy whipping cream.
Okay.
I use brown sugar. A lot of people use white sugar. I like chocolate. Of course,
Who
I
doesn't?
like chocolate. So
Brown sugar is great to cook
chocolate
with,
and
too.
walnuts go well together.
So go back to the sugar for a second. So what is your preference in the brown sugar aspect?
I just like it gives it more of kind of a nutty flavor, I guess you could say.
And then what's that?
And then I've got vanilla extract.
Yum. Oh, that smells
the
good.
real stuff, not the imitation.
No, because this is a real show with
This
real
is
Monica
real
Adams.
stuff. Yeah. So
And?
we've got salted caramel, which
Woo,
obviously I
yummy.
made ahead of time. There's not a lot of time to do that,
Okay, so we're going to make this first, and we're going to blend it all together. And then what else are we making for our main dish?
So we're gonna do pan-seared beef tenderloin
Ooh, those look
medallions. They've actually
Notice the sweat.
Yeah. So they've been dry brined, if you want to call it that. Basically, you salt and pepper them ahead of time,
Okay.
which draws the moisture out of the protein because, well, basically when you start to pan sear 'em, moisture is the enemy. You cannot get a good sear if it's the slightest bit wet. So
Okay.
I do like to pat it with a towel right before I get searing. I'll be searing with just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil
Okay.
on a super hot temperature. And I'll flip them a couple times. After I feel like they're about to the doneness that I'm looking for, which is, I'm shooting for medium rare, but induction, it's hard to say. I'm not quite used to it yet, but
We'll play around with it.
the last couple minutes after they're mostly seared, I'll be adding a lot of butter, fresh thyme, fresh garlic.
And then what are we, so you're also going to have some carrots with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna baste it with butter.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna do I like to call it candied carrots. It's on my catering menu. It's amaretto, brown sugar.
Hello.
Lots of butter.
Lots of butter.
Lots of butter.
We
dill,
love lots of butter. It's good for you.
And yeah, so
Look at that. And it's real butter.
Yeah, it's real butter, absolutely. We've got our carrots here, we've got our brown sugar,
More
we've
brown
got our
sugar.
salt and pepper, we've got our dill, we've got our fresh garlic.
Okay. And some amaretto.
Yep, and bottle of amaretto. You got to have amaretto.
It
It just gives it a
little
really
this, a little
good
that.
nutty. It gives it a really good nutty flavor, and that's personally what I like about it. It's, I'll be honest. I made that at home last night. The carrots. My kids loved them.
Why not? It
They're
sounds
Don't have to
delicious.
tell them it's amaretto, but they're like, ooh, these taste like candy. So
We're going to make, again, beef medallions, some candied carrots, and then bread pudding, which, by the way, I love that we're doing bread pudding on this day. Happy birthday to my best friend, Julie. On this birthday, she was craving, you know how when women get pregnant, they always have cravings? Bread pudding was her
yeah.
thing. She would tell her husband, I need bread pudding. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, no, you don't understand. I need bread pudding right now.
Yep.
So
my
now we
wife's
know.
was pickles, but it still
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Oh my
okay,
goodness.
Never
we're going to
changes.
take a quick break. We also are going to talk about the wine aspect. So what did you bring today to pair with this?
Well, I brought Reserve Cabernet just because it will go with the dessert and the main course.
Delicious. We're going to
So-
talk more about the wines. We'll talk about some incredible dinners that they have coming up and what's on the horizon for this creative mind. Chef Chris and Chuck from Defiance Ridge Vineyards on this Foodie Friday.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
welcome back to a Foodie Friday in the Slyman Brothers kitchen. We are featuring today Defiance Ridge Vineyards. If you haven't been, we're going to give you the address, the website, how you can follow them, and trust me, you're going to want to do save the dates on a lot of the things that they have coming up. Chuck Valentine is the owner. Chris Maurer is the chef. We did a little setup of what we're making today. In fact, I'm going to do a little switcheroo so you can start getting into your bread pudding. You talked about the wine, Chuck, and you know, we have done this on some of our Wet Your Whistle shows. You debuted this new label when?
A couple years ago, and we are in the process of some of our Missouri labels. We'll have it on there, and all of our reserve wines.
And so we have a Reserve Cab today.
We have a Reserve Cab. It's from Dry Creek. Dry Creek is kind of northwest Sonoma, west of Hillsburg. It's the hotter area of Sonoma. It's away from the Russian rivers, and temperatures get warmer, so Cabernet is grown well there, along with Zinfandel, wines like that, grapes like that. But this is a 2022. It's very fruity, and you know what we do. The French call it négociants.
Négociants.
So négociant is.
Are we negotiating whether it's good or not?
Well, I'll let you determine that. You're the cab girl. So.
You're right. He's the Pinot Noir guy. I'm the cab girl.
But négociants, they work with different winemakers. They buy grapes, they buy finished wine, and then they either make it or they bottle it. And there's many of them in France, and there's many of them in the United States, but we don't call them that.
Okay, while we're talking about the wine, by the way, Chris is over here making the bread pudding. You said this is only like a few minutes. Well, once you have the prep done. It's only a few minutes to put it in?
He's already prepped.
10 minutes or so. 10 minutes of prep and probably 20 minutes in the oven, depending on the size.
Chris is used to be in a kitchen that's on the move.
Yeah.
And we prep and we make things fast.
Well, again, they're feeding for these amazing dinners, which we just mentioned, the Valentine's dinner. They do have some tickets, but don't wait on that one. If you want something special this year, maybe look into the tickets for that. Tell them your website and where you're located.
It's DefianceRidgeVineyards.com. We're out in Defiance, 2711 South Highway 94. As you're coming into Defiance, we're the big white farmhouse, big building up on the hill.
First winery that you come up to.
We have a little over 5 acres of grapes, and in fact, we're pulling some Vignoles out this year, and we're planting Norton. So we're going to have 7 rows of Norton, which will probably create about 3,000 bottles in 3 or 4 years.
Fantastic.
So that's
crazy.
So you're done already?
About the amounts. I am.
That was quick. Okay.
That was quick. Like I said,
oven?
let's go ahead and go ahead in the oven.
And so Chris actually decided to put it on convection. And so tell me the difference of putting it on regular bake and then putting it on convection. What's your preference on the convection side?
I prefer convection.
And why?
I think we're going to do about 20 minutes. It'll actually cause the croissant, the bread and the bread pudding to brown a little bit on top and get a little bit of crunch, because you don't really want soggy bread pudding.
No one likes soggy bread pudding.
No, not at all, not at all. So
croissants are so great.
They are. We get some good croissants, that's for sure.
So come on back in here. So 20 minutes
we buy local.
in there. So we are talking once again about some of the dinners that are coming up. You and I just talked on the Wet Your Whistle, not only about the Valentine's one, but you just put the March one for your farmhouse dinner on the website as well.
Second Wednesday of March. We'll have a little bit of Irish flair to it at the beginning, but then it'll be a nice dinner. And
you have 5 courses?
5 courses.
Yes.
Yep.
And your farmhouse dinners are usually always 5 courses, right?
Yep.
Sometimes 6.
That's
but
I've
mostly
been in
5,
one. Yeah. So if you're looking for something to do again for spring, you want to get out of the mindset of this cold weather right now. If you haven't been, but we do want to stress this, Defiance Ridge is open throughout the winter. Some beautiful pictures I've seen of people sitting by the fireplaces. They're so stunning. And so think about wineries also during the wintertime and have wonderful food, great conversations with your family and friends, and amazing wine. Again, we're going to do a cab today. So the bread pudding's ready to go. Now we're going to get into our main dish. You're going to go into the carrots first?
So yeah, I'm going to actually get the, I've par blanched the carrots, boiled them off ahead of time.
Okay.
So they're mostly done right now.
Okay.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put brown sugar, amaretto, and a lot of butter in a pan. I'm going to get that going. A little bit of salt, pepper, a little bit of dill weed. I think that gives it a good little something extra personally.
Sure.
And basically that's just going to simmer for a little bit, because basically you want the carrots to soak up all that flavor and all that sweetness. Like you don't want it to just be coated on the outside. You want to taste it in the middle too. So,
Absolutely. And that's going to take about how long?
That's only going to take about, well, basically it's going to simmer while I'm searing the steaks.
So I'm thinking about all of you at home. They're like, oh, well, maybe if we can't get to the Valentine's dinner, this is a great dinner to make for your loved ones.
It is. Great dinner.
Right?
Yes.
So we're going to give you the recipes. We'll put he's provided those for us so that you can take this. And I know a lot of you watch these shows and say, I'm going to try to make that this weekend. So you want to make the medallions, the carrots, and the bread pudding. We've got all of the ingredients for you to make that. But if they were prep time and making all of this, and they're thinking, all right, I've got my honey coming home. This is when I need to start. From prep to eating, what would all this be to make this whole thing?
Well, that depends. So it does take a little bit of preparation, as far as the beef part. You got to get a whole beef tenderloin. You got to clean it up, remove the silver skin and the fat. Basically, beef tenderloin, you want it to be about 99% fat-free, which, in some aspects, it is nice to have that fat, like on a ribeye and whatnot. It does give it flavor, but what we're doing today with the beef tenderloin, we're going to be basting it with fresh herbs, lots of butter, lots of garlic, salt and pepper, different things. So instead of, basically we're taking the fat away and we're adding fat back to it. But, butter, I use a lot of butter. Everybody can tell you that. Butter is just...
Have you heard the theme of today? It's butter.
Yeah. It's
Butter's great for you.
best invention ever.
I love cooking with butter.
Well, let's introduce Chef Chris to induction, a full-blown stove. So we're going to do the carrots. Are you going to do it this side or this side?
I'm going to do the carrots over here. So I remember correctly.
Here, hold it down, and then
I'm just
slide her up.
I'm going to turn it up to about 5 or 6. Let's go 7, because I don't like that number 6.
6, 7.
Yep, 6, 7.
All right, he did it.
Got to do it. So basically, first, because I know this is going to start fast, as you can see, it's melting almost immediately. We just turned it on. So we're going to go with quite a bit of butter. I guess we'll go ahead and do our brown sugar right on top of the butter, because we don't want it to caramelize.
Okay.
Otherwise, it can turn into caramel pretty fast.
Okay.
And then basically, we're just going to get it going a little bit. And actually, maybe we can go up just...
Hold it down.
Oh, hold it down.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe we'll just go up just a little bit for a second.
Okay. Again, so today, if you're just tuning in, we are featuring Defiance Ridge Vineyards. We already have it in the oven. We are making bread pudding. Now we're going to make the carrots, and then we'll be doing the medallions, and then we're going to pair it. I think, Chuck, one of the hardest things for me is the pairing aspect. But all of you that are in that next level of, we're doing all of this. We got to find this wine that will put it all together. What is it about this Reserve Cab that blends everything in what we're doing today? What are you pulling out of it?
Well, obviously with beef, especially beef tenderloin, nice rich Cabernet always goes well.
Okay.
And then once you get to your bread pudding, it's just chocolate and brown sugar. You could have a port, but I think the Cabernet is rich enough that it will work really well.
Okay. You having fun with this induction?
I am having fun.
See? It's fast.
It's definitely interesting. I think it's definitely...
something to be thinking about.
I'd love to have it at home.
Oh, there we go, Slyman Brothers. He's interested in induction.
Maybe I'd love to have it in our brand new event center that we're having built.
Let's talk about that, by the way. So, Chuck, I know you and I have been mentioning it on Wet Your Whistle, but for those that have not been introduced to you during the morning show, you've got some exciting things coming your way.
Yeah, we hopefully will be building a nice, nearly 6,000 square foot new event center. It's going to have big timber ceilings and hold about 250 people for our wedding business and other dinners such as this. We're looking forward to it. It's going to allow us to have weddings at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, like most brides want.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be our building now is it was built 20-something years ago.
Right.
And it's kind of a metal building. You've been there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It has this, it does great for most things we use it for, but for a really nice high-end wedding, this new building is going to be fabulous.
And you're thinking timeline of having that done by?
Well, we'd like to have it done into next spring,
Awesome.
but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We still have another step at the County Council at St. Charles, and
Make it go through, guys.
and you know, we're working with our neighbors. I can't make everybody happy,
No,
but
never can.
it's not like we don't try. So
No, absolutely. They do amazing things. So some exciting stuff to come up. And again, while we've had some wonderful wet your whistles, we've never had a chance to feature, truly have you see the food side of it and what you're missing out on. Besides these incredible farmhouse dinners, we talk about all the time. If you're thinking like, oh, I just want to go out to dinner tonight, tell them what your hours are, because we're coming off of a change throughout the fall, going into winter, and then you'll go back to
we're
spring.
only open on Thursday nights.
Yes.
On night service. And Chris, won't you talk about the specials and things you're doing
So
for dinner?
basically, as Chuck mentioned, we are only open on Thursday nights. You know, we're trying to capture business mainly, I mean, really from anybody, but, you know, from the locals. If you live out towards Defiance, there's not a lot of places
Exactly.
to go, you know, for dinner time. And, you know, we want to take care of the locals. So for quite some time now, we've been kind of known as for our fried chicken on Thursday nights. We've got a Yankee pot roast. But the last several weeks, I've been trying to do, you know, some upper scale specials, and, you know, everybody's been really happy with that. You know, you really don't know unless you take chances on things, you know.
I just love that you do, because again, Chuck and I mention it a lot, that when you're thinking of a winery, you may not think, oh, I'm just going to go there for dinner. So this is an opportunity for you to have really amazing food, but then having this setting. Well, how many acres do you have at Defiance?
42 acres.
Yeah, 42. So we're talking about the rolling hills, and in that wine country area, sitting there for dinner, sitting by a fireplace, and as you mentioned, people out in Augusta, Defiance, etc., they're like, where do I go to dinner? Here, go to dinner there. So you have it on Thursdays, but you do transition as you go into spring and summer. What are your, because you were open on Wednesday nights,
Yeah,
weren't
we're
you?
not doing that anymore.
Oh, you're not, okay.
It just wasn't working real well.
Okay.
It was kind of robbing our Thursday nights.
Oh,
Because
okay.
most people that are coming out are locals, and you know,
Yeah.
normally they won't come back day after day.
Right.
So one thing we are doing this spring, we're putting up some new lighting in the deck area,
Okay.
where it's going to be much better for the concerts too.
Right.
Kind of indirect lighting, but it's going to be nice. So that will help that area.
Sure.
But
Okay, what do we need? Oh, did we turn it down?
All right, yeah, so I've turned this down. I think it's simmered long enough.
Okay.
Basically just got it on a very low temperature right now, just to kind of keep it hot. I
While
think
we're
once
doing the medallions?
Once we go into the medallions, you know, those shouldn't take too incredibly long. My guess is, you know, 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, not 6-7.
Depending on the doneness, depending on the thickness.
Actually, isn't it 4-1 now? I think it went from 6-7 to 4-1 is what I'm hearing. We'll go 4 to 1. All right, we'll take a break. We're going to do the medallions. And since that's not going to take very long, talk a little bit more about some exciting things that you have coming up. We mentioned it on Wednesday, but you may have missed that. So we're going to talk about this continuing partnership you have with Grant Long from Aon Air.
Yeah.
Some exciting things also that we want to see as we move out of winter into spring and summer. What's on the horizon for Defiance Ridge Vineyards? We'll find out more with Chuck Valentine and Chris Maurer when we return. Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? You go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
Welcome back. Thanks again so much for tuning in. I know you've all been telling us you love these segments. Foodie Friday. If you have a chef or a restaurant owner, winery, right? You name it. We've had home chefs that have come in here and they said, I would love to feature our recipe. Shoot me an email at info@therealmonicaadams.com and let's feature them. So Chef Chris Maurer and Chuck Valentine, the owner of Defiance Ridge Vineyards, we have our bread pudding baking. Oh, we've got about 7 minutes left on that. We've got some candied carrots with a little amaretto, a lot of butter and some garlic and brown sugar. We'll tell you all the ingredients that you need if you want to try to do this at home. So we're going to go into the beef medallions. I'll do a little switcheroo so Chef can get into that.
Sounds good.
You mentioned you want to do it medium rare.
I do.
So if we went into medium, or even, why would you do medium well on meat? Don't make it a brisket.
Everybody has their own preference. I personally think medium rare is the only way to go with beef tenderloin. Well, it really depends on the cut of meat. I mean, I like medium rare with a strip steak.
Okay. So if you're doing a fillet, you like medium rare.
Yeah, absolutely.
I might have to. I usually say medium, but I might have to try a little more medium rare. You do medium rare?
Oh my goodness, yes.
He's like,
but no, if
goodness,
I went with a ribeye steak, I would go more medium, just because to me it gets a little bit more tender when it's medium.
Yes. Okay, so the beef medallions, we're going to do medium rare. So we'll let you do that. I went into the break and talked about some really cool partnerships, which we mentioned, but I know a lot of you, maybe you watch Wet Your Whistle. If you haven't seen him on the morning show, that's why I wanted to bring him on. But it's also for all of you on the morning, start watching those. We love our shows at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Every other Wednesday, we're with Chuck with Defiance Ridge, unless we're traveling, which February, we're like, when are we going to be together?
We traveled a lot last year. Yes, we did.
You do a lot of traveling and you do a lot of partnerships. So as we're searing this, let's talk about the relationship that you have with Aonera Winery, and then their newest is called Reverie.
Yeah, Grant. I've known Grant long for 15 years. We've done a lot of business back and forth. Grant is he's a winemaker that only has a wine club, and he has over, I think, 3,000 wine club members throughout the United States. Yeah, he does great work with his. He's the type of guy that I think on his label he puts his own personal cell phone on.
Oh, really?
So you can contact him 24/7. He has a few customers like us that buy his wine in bulk, and he handles all of it. He bottles it for us, and so we have 7 new wines that we're working on right now that will be in sometime in March.
In March. Yeah. What are you most excited about that's coming in the spring?
Oh my! From his aspect of his wines, I think the Malbec is always fantastic. His Cabernets are great. In fact, we have 2 Cabernets. One will sit down for a few years, and one from Rutherford that's beautiful and ready to drink right now. Chardonnay, very high end. That is just a wonderful Chardonnay. Grant just makes things that are fruit forward and has his own style. And there's many people in the area that belong to his wine club, and well,
I can point right here. We did. Chuck introduced us and sent us off to Aonera when I thought it was for our honeymoon. It wasn't. It was when we went back in 2017 with some friends, and I mean his view was stunning. We sat around by the fire, the bonfire.
He's got a great setup in both wineries, and he runs a very clean winery. In fact, I have stories of how clean his winery is from the past. He had an employee that left something open one night, and there was some question mark on a couple of barrels, and they got rid of them. Oh. And I mean, he's just a great winemaker.
This smells. I wish you had scratch and sniff television. This smells amazing.
Smell-o-vision.
Well, exactly, smell-o-vision. What is the herbs you have on top?
So I've got fresh thyme, fresh garlic, a lot of butter.
butter.
I'm inducing these flavors into the beef tenderloin.
I mean, come on. This is one of those Instagram-worthy.
You can't go wrong right here.
Fantastic.
It does. Again, if you're just tuning in, and I know a lot of you sign on and you're heading off to work, you want to come back to this because you want this recipe. Beef medallions, this beautiful candied carrots, and then our dessert is bread pudding, all paired with the 1897 Reserve Cabernet from Defiance Ridge Vineyards. It smells ridiculous.
Chris, would you rather grill or stovetop?
I mean, to be honest with you, I like both. I think each one's got a unique flavor. So
Are you one of those guys that it's snowing and you go out and you're still grilling in the snow?
You know what? 100%. I've got a sliding glass door going out of my sunroom.
I did that twice this
I
week.
knew it.
Yeah.
In 2 feet of snow.
Oh man,
You know,
no
when
kidding.
it was 20 below zero, I had my Blackstone, my
I
my
love
flat grill fired up, and I did smash burgers at home
that
for lunch
sounds-
for the kids.
Nothing stops
So,
a griller.
yeah.
No, it's nothing. You're right.
Okay, this is going to kind of be like picking a favorite child. If you had one dish that Chris has made for you that just stands out in your memory in the last 7 years, what would it
There's
be?
so many.
That's a really tough one. You know, I love the roast beef he makes. We use it for many of our weddings, and customers just love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that sticks out just because I've had so many compliments about it from so many wedding guests.
Do you have a favorite?
Um,
It's hard.
You know, these farmhouse dinners is honestly one of the things that I like. Because of the fact it allows me to be creative. You know, as a chef, you don't want to do the same thing over and over and over. You know,
Well,
of
and your
course,
desserts- and
it
your
comes with
desserts
the
are fabulous,
territory,
so.
but you know, yeah.
Look,
I
you
mean, the
figured
desserts
you
is
figured the induction out already.
I know
He's
how
a
to work
pro.
it. Hey, I'm going to tell my wife when I get home tonight. Hey,
And
this
you
is
will
what we're
buy
doing
those
next.
appliances
Right,
from where? Right there.
From
Slyman Brothers.
Slyman Brothers. Yeah.
Yes, he will.
That's what I'm going to let her know. So,
Folks, if you're just tuning in, this is Chef Chris Maurer. Again, Chuck Valentine from Defiance Ridge. We're going to be tasting this. We've got less than a minute left on our bread pudding. So if you can't get out for Valentine's Day, this would be incredible for you to surprise your honey with. And you can come by and pick up the wine and take it to go.
Yes, you can. We've got, oh my goodness, we have 30-something different wines.
And then you also have a wine club yourself.
We have a wine club. Our wine club's a little different because, you know, Missouri wines, even though they've come a long way, and we have some great Missouri wines, it just people just don't buy them off the shelf very much.
Right.
So our wine club is based on, you can have reservations, you get 20% off of your bill, and you
The
get all
reservations is a big deal, especially when you're packed on a Saturday, Friday,
is
Sunday.
really a big deal for us.
Yeah. So look into that. By the way, you can go to their website and find out about the membership. I'm going to, it's going to beep on us. Here, let's take this. Let's take it out of the oven. One of these dry? Yes. We hear you. You shush up. All right. What do we think? Is it done?
all right, let's take a quick little look here.
Oh, he's got the towel.
It's yeah, it's real close.
Real close?
It's real close.
Okay.
I would say by the time we finish plating, we'll definitely be able to take a
You get back in there.
sliver right out of the corner. It's
Cannot
real
wait
close.
to try all of this. So again, some really cool partnerships. You also have a storied friendship with Chuck Wagner at Camus.
I do. Incredible man, one of the pioneers of the industry, and he's just great to work with and great to bounce ideas off. And we've been working with him just as a friendship since 2012. So,
Since 12. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's so many great opportunities of the Missouri wines that we have and then wines that Chuck brings in as well so that you can try. The other thing is, I highly recommend that when you go in, to go to the tasting bar area. So when you open the menu and you're talking about over 30 wines and you're completely lost, let Chuck and his team guide you to what you love.
Yeah, we have so many wines that, and you know, we really like for people to taste our Missouri wines. We have Missouri makes great white wines.
Look at this.
Our winemakers have won gold medals for several years in a row and best in class in several things.
And well deserved.
We're bottling sometime in the next month, whenever we get a couple warm days, our 2024 Norton, which you tasted, Chamberson, and then we created a new red blend, which is more Norton based than Chamberson, but it's really nice, really good.
I have fun with those. Chuck and I have done so many things over the last 2 years in our Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, but some of my favorites is when he's like, Monica, we're going to taste right of the barrel. And I'm like, oh, wow. And we just did that
It's
actually
fun.
not too long ago.
It's a lot of fun doing that.
I don't think this one's done yet. He goes, you're right. I'm like, oh, good. I'm getting good at this.
Well, you're very good at
Thank
it.
you.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
are.
I appreciate it. Okay, that is gorgeous.
All right, so I'm hoping for a medium rare. We'll
Looks
see.
like you got it.
We'll
Could
find
be a
out.
little bit under, could be a little bit over. It's hard to say. Basically, I took it out of the pan. It's resting. You always want your meat to rust.
Night.
It has to rust. If you cut into it while it's hot,
it is still cooking.
It will bleed out.
Chuck never knows what's going to come out of my mouth.
That's true.
If you cut into it
But it's never
right
bad.
out of the oven or the grill or
No,
whatever, it will immediately basically go to well done, and we don't want that.
No, we don't want that. You don't want
Not
this
at all,
tough.
especially with some good beef tenderloin.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes. So again, beef medallions, and then we'll have the carrots we're going to plate up. We're going to take the bread pudding out.
It's
We're going to
probably
taste
ready.
and we're going to blend it all together with this incredible wine. So don't go anywhere. Defiance Ridge Vineyards, and we'll find out how many forks is this recipe. We'll check on that when we return.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Oh my goodness, it smells amazing in here. We are on Friday, a Foodie Friday with Defiance Ridge Vineyards in the Slyman Brothers kitchen. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Cannot wait to taste this. If you're tuning in at the end of the show, you've missed out, so be sure to go back. Again, on all the platforms, it's the beauty of streaming. You can go back and look at how you can make this for your loved ones. So the owner of Defiance Ridge Vineyards, again, Chuck Valentine, the chef is Chris Maurer. Be sure to follow them on social media. Are you most active on Facebook?
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook, okay. And then I think, are you also on Instagram?
We are.
So Defiance Ridge Vineyards, check them out and then see what they have coming up. Go to their calendar of events on defianceridgevineyards.com. See what they have coming up for dinners, for the amazing summer concert series. I'm telling you what, if you like Eric Clapton, you like Bohemian Rhapsody, that's the one, right? That's the one that's already got 200 tickets. I need to get tickets to that ASAP, and so do you. Valentine's dinner, still available. The March Farmhouse dinner is available as well. Today, we made a special beef medallion and the candied carrots. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to help you. I'm going to get the bread pudding out. And then while I do that, Chuck, why don't you go ahead and pour the wine? We're going to do a little tasting.
Start plating the food.
All right. This is yummy. An opportunity. Ooh, that's a little hot. An opportunity for you to make this for your loved ones. I'm going to come around you. I don't want to burn you. Oh, this looks yummy. So I've never made bread pudding before. I do love, if I'm going to eat red meat, it is a medallion. You didn't even know that. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to try this.
Yep.
Okay, so again, Chuck mentioned this is the 1897. What year is this again?
2022.
2022. It's the Reserve Cab. Do you have a favorite right now as we are looking at 2026 for you to say, all right, when you come into my winery, try this?
Well, I still think all our reserve wines are fantastic. Our new Chardonnay is great. You know, we have Oregon Rieslings and Pinot Gris and Pinot Rosé. We have a new Pinot Noir from Oregon that will be in probably about 2 weeks. That was left over from last year. Our winemaker in Oregon was building a new building and they kind of got behind, but it will be in soon. But you know, my favorite wines are Pinot based.
Yes.
And the champagnes, Pinot Noir. I love deep red cabs.
So what is your?
I love all wines.
Well, yes, you and I both, right? What is your favorite about a Pinot Noir? What is it that draws you to the Pinots?
Well, I like two different styles. I love the rich, luxurious styles from Russian River Valley, and I actually adore the Oregon Pinots. They're very Burgundian, and the great producers out there are. They just make great wines.
Look at this. I mean, come on, you go walking into someone's house and they've got that plated up for you. Hello. And then you got this gorgeous wine. So if you want this recipe, again, you may have missed it throughout the show. I will drop it in the comments for you because we want to thank Chef Chris for giving that to us. That's hot. Watch out. What do you need, Jeff?
I forgot to grab a plate for the bread pudding.
Okay. Yep, we're going to plate up the bread pudding.
Yeah, so
we need to get you some good glasses in here.
Yes. Hey, I agree.
Yeah, I can take care of
Hey,
that.
Defiance
like, I
Ridge
got you.
glasses. Look at that, hot and fresh, right out of the oven.
I took Chuck through the other side where our studios are. So we're affiliated with Adventure Unknown here in Fenton. When we walked through that doors, Chuck's first word out of his mouth was,
It's pretty crazy. It's really, really cool.
he's like, wow, what is this?
I had no clue.
And I told him, hey, let's do some things up here. I'm thinking about doing a wet your whistle with him here, and maybe we even get on the stage and do a panel.
Yeah, we could
right?
we could
Do a
work something
tasting.
out that. Yeah.
We've got some ideas. Okay, look
Invite
at
some
that
people out.
caramelized. All right, so here's the question always, is wine, then food, then wine. Is that correct? We taste the
You
wine
always
first?
taste the wine first.
All right, so let's taste the wine. Cheers. By the way, Chris does not drink, so this wine is for Zach, for all of his hard work. Before we taste, Chris, I ask my chefs all the time, oh my God, that looks ridiculously amazing. That's dangerous looking.
That's delicious.
Okay, I'm gonna get in a second. I always ask the chefs on a scale of 1 to 5 forks, as far as difficulty, what would you consider this for the home chef?
Cleaning a beef tenderloin.
Would be taking it up higher?
That would definitely be difficult.
So you would say-
You haven't done many of them in your life, though. You've done several hundreds.
I mean, I've done thousands.
Isn't that good?
But, yeah,
So that would take it up to a 3 or a 4?
Yeah,
Not a
probably
5.
something like that. No, not
Okay.
a 5. I mean, I've done so many of these. It's
You know,
not that big of a deal for me
it's
personally,
a lot of
but
fun watching them clean it.
So okay, if you have to choose, 3 or 4?
Probably 3.
Okay, this is a
Let's say 3.
3-fork recipe. There you go. Okay, I agree. This is so good by
Yeah,
itself.
it's really good.
But now, okay, let's taste your food. We're gonna let Chef Chris. Let's. Where's my forks? That were over here. Oh, they're over here. If you want to grab a fork for me, we're gonna taste this together. Do you want us to just go right out? It's kind of like family style.
Just go right at it.
We don't even have to put it on our plates. Then we'll plate it out.
Right at it.
All right, let me take a little piece here. Chuck, I want you to have a piece.
Okay, thank you.
Chef, you need a piece. Look at those fancy
Absolutely.
forks, by the way. Aren't they fun?
Absolutely.
So when you do this, are you, as a chef, are you wanting us to have a piece of this, and a little bit of the herbs
Well, the
together,
fresh,
or just?
it's basically been basted, so with the butter and the fresh herbs and the garlic, it's been poured over the top because you just don't want to waste that good flavor. So yeah,
Very
so
nice.
All right, this
That's
one's
kind of
Love that
where
time.
we're at.
okay. That's delicious.
Love the time.
I want to put this all together for you. That's for you.
Oh, that's for me. Perfect.
You want a
I'm
carrot?
just
He's
gonna-
like, I want a
I'm
carrot.
gonna grab a carrot.
And then we're gonna give Zach.
look
I
great.
said, Zach, you're gonna eat better than you've probably ever eaten better in your life.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, yum.
Okay, this is done so well. So would you consider that to be medium rare?
That's a little bit over. That's definitely closer
See,
to
but
a medium.
that's how I normally order it. All right, your carrots.
Brown sugar and the carrots and the wine work.
You just started cooking
It's a
today,
good
huh?
flavor. Yeah. Well, last night, but
Carrots
you know,
are
I had to
delicious.
prep.
Who introduced you to cooking?
You know, I was probably
that's good.
17 years old.
Oh, cool.
In high school, I had a foods class. Basically, it was supposed to be a blow-off class. I took it the second year. Next thing you know, here comes Sullivan Culinary School, which is in Louisville, Kentucky.
In Louisville?
Coming to see who's interested in, you know, maybe doing this as a career. And I don't know, something just got me, and
You got bit by the
know,
bug.
I got bit by the bug. I did, 100%.
I'm
So
gonna do the dessert.
I do
Well, he-
love doing this for a living.
He's a very hard worker.
I can attest to that.
Puts many, many hours in, and we really appreciate it.
You are a hard worker. Well, Chuck, let me just tell you, your staff is amazing. Every single person I've ever had the blessing of working with. You're blessed.
I am very blessed.
It's a very unique place, that's for sure.
Okay, you know how to pair food, by the way, with wine.
Oh my God.
This is so good. All right, everybody. So one more time. We made some bread pudding, beef medallions, the candied carrots. All of the recipes I will put in the comments for you as well. We showed them throughout the show. Thank you, Chris, by the way, for giving this to us, because my husband would be very happy if he came home and saw this
I
sitting
would
on
use
the
a
table.
fortified wine with this.
A fortified
Yeah.
wine? Okay.
Yeah, needs a little bit more sugar than
Can
wine
you
does.
explain that to them?
A port wine.
Okay.
You know, Missouri makes some of the great ports in the world, Norton Port, Chamberson Port. So either one would go great with this.
Okay. So, folks, Again, you dream it up. You have a recipe you would like for us to feature. If you have a chef, you have a food, it doesn't matter what kind of place. Let's feature them on your show. What'd you think? Did you do good?
I think it works.
Yeah.
I mean, everything worked out for sure.
It worked out great.
Great
Zach's
job.
like, I can't wait to put that all in my belly.
There
All right,
you go.
folks, thank you so much. Cheers
Thank
to
you,
you.
dear. Okay.
Cheers to
Chris,
you, my
thank you,
friend.
brother.
Cheers.
Yes,
Thank you.
and remember to watch our Wet Your Whistle Wednesdays, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's when we do 2 shows on Wednesdays. We have a blast. We'd love for you, by the way, if you'd like to come out, because some people are like, I love watching those. Can I ever join you? Yes, and we actually had some fun with that. Remember that
We
lady?
did, yes.
They
We
were
should do
laughing
one
so
here.
hard. Yes, we will. We'll
Yeah.
do one here as
We
well.
could have some more
More
folks
fun times to come. Again, Valentine's dinner right around the corner. Tickets still available. Don't wait on that, though. The March Farmhouse dinner and this incredible summer concert series and so much more to come with Defiance Ridge Vineyards. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another edition of Foodie Friday. We'll see you very soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back. Did you enjoy that? All right. How many of you are going to try to make that? Let us know if you make the medallions, if you make the carrots, if you make the bread pudding. I brought all that home to Jim, and he's like, wow, that looks amazing. I can't wait for him to try it. I had the medallions. Some of them, I heated them up last night. Can't wait to get into that bread pudding. I did drop the recipe in for you a couple of times in the comments, so be sure to check that out. We want to thank our sponsors that are with us day in and day out. We couldn't do this show without them, so check them out right here down below, and your name could be among that list. I do want to welcome aboard Bridget Childress. She will be joining us coming up in March. In fact, right away when I mentioned that I wanted to do Testament Tuesday, she wrote me immediately and said, I want to come on. First of all, she wants to talk about her company, but she also said, I want to be a part of Testament Tuesday. So Childress Legal Nurse Consulting. She works with attorneys and personal injury medical malpractice attorneys. She takes all the guesswork out of it and makes sense of the chaos of the medical record. So I can't wait to welcome her on, one of our newest sponsors. So do me a favor, all of you that are diehards, welcome Bridget to our team. And I do say our team. And of course, JG Optimal Wellness. We have Defiance Ridge Vineyards, as you just saw, spas and more, as well as Simon Brothers Appliances. And then Dot Flashman Realty. She's our real estate agent who joins us for our Friendship Friday. And that'll be coming up for you, by the way, next Friday. Usually it's the first Friday of the month. More of you can be a part of the show or, again, the mobile Monica versions. So let me tell you about those before we get into our devotional that we wrap up with. So our next, I will say before we do the mobile Monica, no, actually, I guess it is the other way around. We have Apricot Lane Boutique. So we will be there on February 10th. That is the next time we will be out and about spotlighting one of our incredible small businesses. That'll be a 4:00 show. So in the afternoon, we're going to be at Apricot Lane Boutique in O'Fallon. They're located at 3028 Winghaven Boulevard. Again, save the date. I would love for you to get your friends together, come out. I'm saying right now, if you haven't been, you are going to absolutely love everything they have there. And if you're looking for something with your gals, they do have a pop-up coming up on February 7th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Not just shopping, but look at this. They're going to have teeth whitening as well as B12, lip flips, skin consultations with an esthetician, maybe a little Botox, all of that for your Valentine's Day pop-up. So that'll be on the 7th. Can't wait to hear how greatly attended that is when we get there on February 10th. And then we are going to be on campus at the Excel Center with the MERS Goodwill organization. I hope you all had a chance to see that earlier in the week. A lot of people said it was such a great show. I agree. Thank you to the faculty, as well as the students who are past graduates or currently going to school there. We're going to go on campus and we'll find out more about them. That'll be the third week of February. And then we get into March. Mary Tuttle's, we're coming for you. At the end of March, we will be showcasing Mary Tuttle's, which is in Chesterfield. We also have on the books in May already that we'll be going to Oak and Front, a wonderful restaurant that's in Washington, Missouri. I love their view. I've eaten there a handful of times, right across from the river and right there by the train tracks. Great view, great food, great wine. So we'll be introducing you to Tanya and Brian, the owners of Oak and Front, and more to come. We've got a ton of meetings. I've got 4 meetings, by the way, on tap today. So keep them coming to me. By the way, I do reward you if somebody that you lead to me becomes a sponsor, becomes a Mobile Monica sponsor. I give you $100 to tell you thank you for bringing them to us. It's that easy. Some cold hard cash for you. All right. Before we get into the devotional, you're welcome, Stephanie. She said, thank you to Chef Chris and Chuck. Fun segment. Shiraz Nara, new to the show, I believe. Beautiful. Delicious. Thank you for sharing this with us. Welcome, Jill. To all of you, remember, always feel free. You can ask any questions that you want. Jeannie's over on Instagram saying good morning. I love interacting with you. So feel free to ask any questions, make any comments that you want. All right. Our devotional today is Jesus Listens. This is from Sarah Young. And we're wrapping up January on the 30th here. Mighty Jesus, all things are possible with you. These powerful words from scripture light up my mind and encourage my heart. You are training me to live by faith, not by sight. So I refuse to be intimidated by the way things look at this very moment. I'm thankful for the sense of sight, a spectacular gift from you, but it's easy for me to be so mesmerized by the visual stimulation around me that you fade into the background of my mind. Help me instead to focus primarily on you, trusting in your promises and trying to see things from your perspective. Teach me how to grow closer to you, Lord Jesus. I delight in knowing you as my Savior and my friend, but I want to relate to you also as Almighty God. When you lived as a man in this world, your miraculous signs revealed your glory. Miraculous next to yours, hard to say. I know that you continue to do miracles according to your will and your purpose. Please train me to align my will with yours and to watch in hope for you to do your work. And that's the devotional we will wrap up with for the month of January. Where in the world has January gone? Getting into February already this weekend. So when we're back with you on Monday, Jenny Gabriel from JG Optimal Wellness will join us. We've got some really exciting things coming up, as I mentioned, as we get into February. If there's something you ever want Jenny to cover for you in the realm of nutrition when it comes to menopause as well as andropause, right? We talked about that just last week. We talked about how men many times deal with the similar symptoms that we have as well. As we get into Monday, we're going to talk about perimenopause archetypes. That is our subject for our show on Monday. All right, let's look for Tuesday. And if there is a topic, a guest that we always say that you would like for us to talk about on the show, let us know. Oh yeah, we didn't get a chance to bring in Angela Skirtu. She is a counselor and a sex therapist. So if you are having some problems in the bedroom with your significant other, your husband, your wife, etc., we're going to talk about the biggest struggles that couples go through. I asked her what were the biggest topics that couples were struggling with in 2025 as we get into 2026. So that'll be Angela on Tuesday. I'm going to do a little workout with you on Wednesday. Again, checking in on your New Year's resolutions because this is when we usually see them slip off. So we're going to do some workout with you as we go into Wednesday. I'm also going to introduce you to a woman on Instagram. Her name is Michaela. Make that magic. You want to follow her on Instagram. We're going to introduce you to her because she's going to join us doing some Olympic coverage. So we'll have about 6 shows together over a 3-week span. What are you most excited for the Olympics? Let me know that. You can drop it in now or drop it in on a little replay. I'm super excited, of course, to watch skiing. I love to get onto the slopes. She actually used to do figure skating. So we're going to cover that. We're going to cover curling, the opening, the closing ceremonies, but we're very excited to know, what do you want covered? What do you want us to do a recap on? What are you most excited for in the Winter Olympics in Milan? We were in Milan, Italy last year, and I'm like, dang it, why didn't we wait until this year to go? So drop some comments in because Michaela and I want to know, as we pick some of our favorites, what do you want us to cover in the Olympics? So that's coming up for you next week as well. And then we get into Friday. Again, Dot Fleshman joins us, and our Foodie Friday. So it's a 2-hour show next Friday is Dee Dee Mao. We'll be bringing in the we'll be bringing in the owner, Julie, for that. Okay, so a big week on tap for you and so much more to come. I'm excited for 2026. I know a lot of you have been asking, by the way, how is Mama Jackie doing? I'm getting ready to leave to head off to see her. These are some of the latest pictures I took. Her room, by the way, is flooded with flowers. That plant and that flower bouquet, thank you to Lesure's Florist. They do beautiful work in the city. And my clients that I personal train and do life coaching with, they purchased those for her. The picture on the left was right after we got her hair colored, cut, and styled, feeling like herself again, and put a little makeup on. Who doesn't feel better when you get a shower and you feel pretty? So thank you for all the prayers. Keep them coming in. Mom's continuing to wrap up her therapy. Can't wait to have her home, right? Just get her in our care. Not that they're not doing a great job. They are doing an amazing job where she is right now, but again, you just want her back home, right? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a beautiful weekend. Hockey, figure skating, Lindsey Vonn had a fall. Okay, so I'm not watching anything just yet as far as the lead up to it, but it officially kicks off next week with regards to the opening ceremonies, etc. Yes, hockey. Thank you. We're going to put that one in there for you as well. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Enjoy. God love you. God bless you, and be kind. I'll see you Monday morning.